I got this. How many times have we said those 3 words? When we were already overwhelmed, when we were exhausted, when we were barely holding it together. At some point, strength stopped being strength and became survival.
Mm, wow. Welcome to Grow Wiser, Love Louder, the podcast for women who are strong on the outside, tired on the inside, and honest enough to talk about it. I'm Ashaunettae Young, and I'm here with Tameka Rushing and Angela Gorham. Hey, ladies.
Hey,
Hello.
hey.
Hey. So, my question for you, what's one thing you've learned about asking for help or one sign you're approaching burnout?
I'll say the one thing I've learned about asking for help, it's okay. It is okay to ask for help.
Mine is asking for help is not weakness.
Ooh,
That's
It
good.
is
I like it.
strength to be
Mhm,
self-aware
mhm,
and to recognize it. And I know for me, I have delayed asking for help um, so many times. And
mm.
sometimes I wait until the last minute to ask for help, and there's no one there.
Ooh,
That's
that's
good.
that's 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 deep.
That's yeah.
Wow.
Um, like you said, it's okay to ask. You don't have to do it alone.
Mhm,
You don't have to be superwoman.
mhm,
Um, and the burnout part, I think some of the symptoms people don't associate with burnout. Of course, I chat GPT. And, some of the symptoms, I was like, "Oh, I didn't associate that with burnout." So, like, some of it was, like, frequent headaches.
mhm,
Mhm,
People have headaches, people just be like, "Oh, it's just, not enough water or something," but it could be associated with that, and muscle tension, changes in sleep, getting sick more often,
mhm,
your changes in appetite, and then some of the behavioral stuff is like, feeling overwhelmed and
ir
increased irritability. So that
mhm,
part, being
mhm.
irritable, loss of joy, feeling hopeless, and I know you hear my paper, sorry. Self-worth, your self-worth is being tied to being useful.
Mhm.
So that's the kind of the mindset with the not asking for help because you feel like you can do it or it's on you
Yeah.
to do it, and then you just not going to ask for help. But um, I think we talked about this before in a previous episode where I said that sometimes I didn't ask for help because I didn't think that person was going to do it
Mhm.
to the level that I wanted it to be done or the
Right.
expectation to what I wanted it to be done. But then I
Mhm.
had to unpack that
Yeah.
and be like, well, why is what they do not good enough?
Right.
Why
And
can't
we're
that
gonna
be
talk
good
about
enough?
that. Mhm.
And I was like, "You're right. Why can't it be good enough? Like,
Mhm.
it can be good enough, or at
Right.
least they can do enough to get it to where even if you have to
Right.
do this a little bit, that's a little less than what you had to do when everything was on your plate, right?" So
Yes.
that part.
Yeah. I'll say for me in real time, and then I've talked about it before, and I'm gonna talk about it until I'm blue in the face because I need if I can help anybody. But when I was going through my burnout episode, I will say that things there were signs there. So like weight gain. I had gained like 30 pounds. Also, my hair started falling out in certain places, and I still have patches. So it's my constant reminder, like, we're not repeating that.
mhm.
And then excessive wine drinking. Like I
Ooh,
I was I started
ooh,
drinking wine like crazy, so I could easily go through a bottle. Like, maybe not every day, but in a week, I was going through, like, maybe 3 bottles of wine. Bottles.
mm,
Mm,
So,
wow.
yeah. So that was me, like, in real time, and that happened. It's so this year makes 4 years ago.
Mm.
Mm.
4 years ago.
Well, a bottle of wine is only kinda like 4 glasses, so
I mean,
I mean, to put it in perspective for people, it's
true.
not
I
like
know the
you're
avid wine
drinking.
drinkers are like, "So?"
Right. But and I and I'm not, but,
That part.
wine isn't as big as some of those big,
True.
handles
True.
and stuff,
True.
so
Yeah.
but
But
it
yeah,
and you
it
saw a
was
change in yourself,
yes.
Right.
um,
Yeah,
and yeah,
it was getting out of control.
yeah.
Yeah, because I shouldn't go to the grocery store and, it's cheaper when you get at least 6 bottles. Like, I shouldn't
Mhm.
be walking out with the wine holder thing,
Mm,
like, every week or every other week. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
no. So,
Do
that
you feel
was
like you drinking wine was like do you think that it was just, something that you thought was, like, giving you a stress release relief from the feelings that you were having?
yes, and I was using it instead of just naturally eating bananas or drinking cinnamon tea or the other natural things to sleep. Part of it was also to help me go to sleep.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, it was very unhealthy the way I was
Mhm.
consuming it.
mhm.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Wow. Well, I'm glad that you recognize that and, put a stop to that.
right. So is my
That part.
liver.
I know, right? Your liver's probably like, "Thank you. Thank you,
And
ma'am. I
Can I get some
appreciate
water
you
in here? Hello?
giving me a break. I appreciate you."
Right.
Anyway, we off the chain today.
I know.
Okay, today we're talking about the moment many women experience when "I got this" stops being confidence and starts being a mask.
Mhm.
When did you guys first realize you were harrying too much?
My episode. Even though there were
okay.
signs, I still felt I was still in that I got it though. I it's under control. I got it. But when my heart went into AFib, I was like, okay, this is scary. Something you know what I mean? It was just that stopped me in my tracks.
Mhm,
Literally. Literally. But just the whole aspect of the episode and even having, being alone at home. My husband was out of town for work. I had to call my daughter to come and drive me to the hospital, and that was traumatizing for her, so it affected more than just me. So now my husband's not here to help me, so he's feeling helpless trying to get back home. My young daughter at the time, early 20s, never seen me really be down
mm,
ever, right?
Mhm,
Because I got this. Mom put on that cape, and
mhm,
so very traumatizing for her. And just navigating this space of, I have a heart condition,
mhm,
but it took that. So that was when I literally realized, like, I don't got this.
mhm.
I don't. So
yeah,
that's my story. What about you,
Thank you for
ladies?
sharing that.
Mhm.
mhm.
Absolutely.
Shauna?
I'm
She's like
good now. I mean,
The
maybe I
lean
just
the lean the lean in,
the
the
sigh. She's like,
right, the lean in with the chin and the chin on the fist, the sigh, you know.
yeah,
"You want me to come back? You
because
still thinking about it?"
I don't remember
Okay.
Yeah.
when I realized it,
Yeah.
um, because it's just been, right? And I don't
Mm.
there's been things that have taken me out, like I went to the emergency room for a heart when I was stationed in South Carolina,
Mhm.
um, and I didn't tell anybody,
Mm,
but yeah, I don't remember when that first time, when I first
Mhm.
realized I was
Right. But
carrying,
there were
uh
times though that you're
yeah, there
like, "Oh
were
yeah, I don't." Yeah, okay.
yeah, but you put on that cape and that bulletproof vest,
Absolutely. That mask.
that yep, you put on one of those
Mhm.
masks and you
Mhm.
just keep going.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I don't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I
Yeah.
feel that, especially in this season of
Yeah.
my life, like, no, I'm not nope.
I did, and
Just not going
She said
to.
no.
yeah, and I had therapy today before this, and I was telling her that I when I got back from the retreat, I got back on Monday, which was my birthday, and I ordered patio furniture, and I was like, "I love sitting outside. Imma do my patio furniture."
Mm,
Then the breakfast nook came, and I was like, "Oh, I wanna put that together too." And then Tuesday, I started getting a headache, and I didn't wanna take BC powder or Tylenol, so I used peppermint oil, but I was still going. I was like, "You know what? I need coconut water." Coconut water, peppermint oil usually works. Celtic
right.
salt, taking Celtic salt, making sure my water, nothing even caffeine. I'm not a big caffeine person other than,
Sure.
tea. Nothing worked. Wednesday, I finally sat out and one of the chairs is built because all of them not done, but my headache didn't go away until I sat down. Like,
Interesting.
literally,
Mm.
I was literally sitting down for, like, 10 minutes, and I started to feel the shift. And then I
Better,
was like,
yeah.
"Oh, the headache went away. Let me get up and do something." Stood up,
Ah.
headache went I was like, "Universe, I got you. I'm supposed to sit
Right.
here and look at the stars tonight and not do anything else."
Right.
Um, but I realized when I was in therapy today that I didn't reintegrate after, my
Your
retreat.
retreat. Mhm.
I was on the go. I didn't sit with the things that, I was feeling, the emotions. I didn't sit with
Right.
any of that, and I still haven't. Um, my Nadia came to visit, and I enjoyed that so much. I have to show you a picture.
Yeah.
And she left on Sunday. And then Monday was cleaning and flipping the house because Amari's boyfriend came today.
Yeah.
He's such a joy. But then my cousin and my sister-in-law come tomorrow, and they're here till Monday. So
Mm.
I'm like, and I
So
told her, I
it's
was like,
something else.
right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to sit with, I really do, but I haven't
Mhm.
been able to ground and really sit or hike or anything. And I was like, I just want to book a trip.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, maybe that's why I want to move out of the country. Because
Yeah.
on the trips, there's no responsibility, right? I'm not worried about
Right.
laundry and all that other kind of
Right.
stuff.
Right.
So I feel it now. It's not the first time I'm realizing I'm carrying too much, but I'm in that state right now. Um, and all I want to do is sit by the beach.
You just wanna be.
I
That's
just,
my favorite thing these days. I just wanna be.
yeah,
Just be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What about
That's
you,
good.
Angie?
Um, a couple times that I've realized it, but I just sucked it up and kept going.
Mhm.
Um, Part of it was when I was in Japan, because my husband worked mids pretty much essentially majority of the time I was there. So basically, we only saw him on the weekend. Um, and I pretty much had to do everything for the
Right.
kids with the kids the whole entire time. And then the weekend was the only time that he, was there to be able to do anything. So I would plan things for us to do as a family on the weekend, and then he would have to go to sleep Sunday to go to
Right.
work Sunday night. So that lasted a really, really long time over
Mhm.
there,
Mhm.
and I just did it because I was like, "It has to get done."
Who else yeah, who else is
Um,
gonna do it?
but I think it started to shift a bit when, because, we had typhoons over there all the damn time, and he was always on the evac team to go, and I was
Mhm.
like, "No, I'm not going to do this typhoon." This one was like a super typhoon this time. I was like, "No, I'm not doing this by
Right.
myself. I've done all these other
Yeah.
ones. by myself.
But you came
Right.
to our house and we had a typhoon party inside.
I did go to her house and have a typhoon party with her one time. And
Typhoon
he was gone that
party.
time. But this time, like I mean, I'm not saying to do this, people, ladies, don't do. But
I told y'all
I
we're gonna do an episode of stuff we did back then.
I went to his boss and was like,
Oh.
you will not be putting my husband on this next typhoon trip because I'm not
Oh.
going to be in this house with these kids by myself. And he was like, I said,
Crush out.
so take him off ASAP. And guess what? He was not on that trip. And he was home. And actually, I'm glad he was because like one of the windows broke. And that was the first time ever that we had like something like that happen in the house.
Right.
So I was glad he was there. But it took me doing that. And so I kind of felt some kind of way. And then, you know, on top of, you know, they only put him on day shift whenever I was gone. But when I came back, they put him right back on mid. So like I was essentially a single parent for like, we was over there 7 years, 6 of the years.
Whew.
Over
That
there.
is a long
That's what I
time.
was doing. So that's when I started to realize, like, okay.
Right.
Because, you know, I had both of my sons and my goddaughter was with me until her mom PCS'd over there. And all three of them was in sports. And Shauna's kids, same thing. You know, basketball. I even coached basketball for one of the kids. It's actually my goddaughter. I coached her team, so she was on that team. So, like, it was a lot. I think that's when the tipping point was. Like I said, I went to this boss and was like, don't do it. Or we're gonna have a problem. And I know he was probably like, who is this chick coming up to me? I didn't care. Rank was out the window at that point. I was like, no, this is about my family, me and my livelihood. And right now, I need him here. Like I can't continue to function at this level. And then when I got here, because we was on staff together, I was like, oh, perfect. We're both on day shift. Like he's not on no crazy shifts. You know, he still went TDY quite a bit, but not as much as he was in Japan. So I thought things was going to get better, but it really didn't. Because I think the expectation was that I was doing it all, like continue to do it all. And when I decided to go for E8, I knew I was going to be working late and stuff. So I said to him, I was like, I can't operate like this anymore. Like you're going to have to take care of the kids because I'm going to be working late. This is what I want to do. I want to go for this next stripe. And he was like, okay. And he did. He stepped up. You know, I was like, the kids' school, you got to handle that. I can't do it. And he did. He got on all the little sites to look at their grades and make sure that they was. I was like, but I had to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so until I did that, like I was just expected to do
doing
everything.
it.
And I just kept doing it. And I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
So that was the part where I started to realize, like, you can't keep doing it all. Like I say it like this, and maybe it might relate to a lot of the women listening. It was like I was juggling balls, and I was just like, which one's going to drop? Like, is it going to be something in my career? Is it going to be something with the kids? Is it going to be something at the house? Like, which ball am I going to drop?
Yeah.
And once I retired, it started to catch up then. Like I was forgetting appointments. Like one of the things was like forgetfulness. And I could have sworn I put stuff on my phone and like I forgot.
You're like, no, it's not there.
One of the kids had a dentist appointment. And you don't know how bad I beat myself up about it because they missed that appointment. And I was like, I've never not
this isn't me. I've
been
never
able
done
to,
this.
I've never been able to like not remember appointments and things of that nature.
Right.
And I was like, okay. I had to step back and was like, okay, you know, that's when I was like, all right, you're doing too much. You can't do all of this stuff and continue to think. And oh, by the way, where do you fit in that as well? Because you're not doing any of the things that you like to do. You know, so you're leaving yourself out of it.
Right. You said something too a minute ago. You said, because that's what was expected from me. And sometimes it's not expected. We put ourselves in that. I'm not saying this is your situation. I'm just saying sometimes though I've seen and I've been in a situation where it's like, no, they expect this from me. And it's like, do they? Or have I created that?
Or did I create that in my mind?
You know what I mean? Like, have I created this space to where now they're just like, okay, yeah, she'll do it. But no one is expecting me to do it. I've just taken, I'm in, you know, it's a control thing or hyper independent thing, or the
Hyper
high
independent.
achiever thing. Sometimes, not every time, but sometimes we do it to ourselves for
Mhm,
whatever reason,
mhm.
fill in the blank.
Well,
So,
you just saying that made me think about I was listening to this thing, and I'll have to find it and share it in the group, but, it was a guy talking about his wife, and he was talking about how he didn't understand how his wife,
oh, I know what you're talking
shut
about.
down, but basically he was, like, not understanding that,
He did
she
a
didn't ask for help.
diagram.
That too, but
Remember? Was that
he
him?
I that was one of them. But this guy was
Oh,
talking
okay.
specifically about his wife's, like, he didn't realize all of the stuff that she was doing and not
Mhm.
asking for help is
Oh, okay.
specifically with the kids, and he
Mhm.
didn't realize it till it was, obviously too late. Like, she was already
Right.
past, burnout
Right.
point and just almost had, like, a mental breakdown about it, and then
Mhm.
he realized, like, "Oh my god," like, yeah, she never asked for help, but, like, I think the realization was, like, they asked him, like, "Oh, did your daughter's dentist?" And he couldn't tell. He didn't
Mhm.
know that,
Who the
he
dentist,
didn't know,
yeah.
where he knew the school, but, you know, like, certain
He
information
didn't
he
know
just
the
didn't
teachers
know.
or the
Yeah, he didn't know, and that's what I think
Yeah.
that's what made him have that realization of, "Oh my god, like, she's doing all this stuff, and I have no idea, like, anything with the kids, like, I have no idea, like, where to take
Right.
them for this or that, or, well, I have no
Yeah.
idea," and then
Yeah.
she never asked
Mhm.
for help, but then I
Right.
never stepped up to say that I was gonna do anything to help
Yeah.
either. So, basically, I
Mhm.
kinda helped in the
Yeah.
demise of
That
her.
communication again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I
Yep.
think when you said that part of it, that's what made me think about it because I was
Mhm.
like, you know, like I said, used to from Japan doing everything for the kids
Mhm.
to still doing everything for the kids here, even though they
Mhm.
weren't driving yet. Now they're adults,
Right.
so, they do their own thing. But at the time, we're the taxis, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, that coming to that point where I was like, I can't do that
Mhm.
anymore. Like, and
Mhm.
you may not have asked, but I'm going to need you to, step up
Right.
and do X,
Correct.
Y, Z because this ball's going to drop and I don't want it to drop. And you need to pick the ball up because,
Yeah.
you have no involvement in that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that part, but I think too, women, like we're saying to ask for help. And like we
Mhm.
think that because you see us, and you think that they see us struggling or they see us doing everything
Mhm.
and we're dog tired at the end and we're asleep already or whatever,
Mhm.
that's a sign for them to be like, let me do something. And it's
Yeah,
not.
no.
It's
And they'll
not.
and they'll say, "Well, you didn't say anything, right? I didn't know. Like, I thought you had it. You didn't say
Yeah.
anything." And I will say I was told a comment when I after my episode, and when I decided I was going to leave corporate, it was like, "You know what? I heard you, but you never let anything fail." And that I was like,
Mm,
"Dang."
that's
And that's
it.
why I tell people my burnout, I take some ownership in that as well. I feel like it was my part me, and not that my leader was bad. He was not a bad leader, but when he made that comment, I was like, that's fair. Cause I'm in here crying, go back to
Crying. Yeah.
I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm like, I'm not a crier. And like every time I come in here, I'm crying. I'm like, I need help, I need this and that. But when he said that, I was like,
Mm.
I don't let anything fail. So while
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying I need help, he's focused on somebody else because he sees that they probably need help because things aren't happening as they should. But me, I'm over here keeping things afloat. So it wasn't apples to apples. It was like, wait a minute, I hear you, but yeah, good job. Like, you're getting all the kudos. You're getting all the things. And so that was a revelation that I was like, wow, he is not
Really.
wrong. And I
Yeah.
own that. And I own it because I
Yeah.
had that military mentality. I got
Yeah.
this. No one cares if there's not enough people. No one cares if you're not feeling good today.
Right.
Get her done.
Bitch, you gotta get done. Get her
Get
done.
her done.
Yeah.
And so it was easy for me to just push through, right? And until I couldn't push anymore.
Yeah. But I
Anywho.
think too, like, people who are married, and you don't ask and you think that your spouse is supposed to know or see you struggling and you never asked
Mhm.
either, then there's gonna be resentment. Then
Oh,
Mm,
resentment
yes.
starts to build, right?
Oh,
Because,
yes.
you know you
That's
know,
real.
you're over here doing all this stuff and everything centers
Mhm.
around the kids, right?
Mm.
And then, you wanna be able to do things, but, okay,
Mhm.
you got 3 kids or however many kids you have, hell, even 1, I mean,
Mhm. No kids.
you're doing
I
all the
mean, just,
things,
even,
you're
yeah,
doing all the
house
things.
stuff. Yeah.
And now it's like you get resentment because you think that that person should see you struggling and say something, do something, or offer, and you haven't said anything either, right?
Right.
And then that resentment builds, and then you're now angry at this person because they're out here golfing and doing all the things they like to do, and you're over here like, I think Michelle Obama said that about Barack one time when she was like, at home with one of the
She
girls when there
did.
was a baby, and she was like, "Oh, you got time to golf? When you got time to golf? Because I'm over here, right?" But then she talks about that, right? And you guys should go
Mhm.
listen to
Mhm.
that if you we'll have to put that in there in the group. But you got to listen
Yeah.
to it because it's funny, but it's the truth. Like she was
Yeah.
same thing. She was like, "You got time to golf?" Then she was like, "Okay." Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna need you to let's
Mhm.
you need to get more involved as well, right? And
Right.
that part of it too. So I just don't want it people to get to that point where it becomes resentment, and then you're angry
Sure.
at this person because they're out here living their best life because they just living their best life, and you're like, shit, I want to live my best life. Well, you gonna help or not,
Right.
right?
Like,
But
"Oh,
that's your
we
first time
we're
asking for help,
golfing today?" Yeah.
right? That
so let
part,
"Oh,
me
right?
we're golfing."
I have a
Anywho.
question just to take you off script. What if you see burnout in someone else? How do you address it?
Mm.
And it's not your partner.
Ooh, I've seen it,
And
and yes, I there's somebody that I know, and it's a guy, and it's like, you can't be all things all the time for everybody, like, it's going to kill you.
It's gonna
Like,
take a toll.
and which is why I share my story, right? And because some people, they see social media and they think like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, you're here, you do that, and you're here," and it's like, "Yeah, and I was also dying inside." You know what I
mm,
mean? Um, but, like, this person recently in a group this week put that they're going on vacation, and I was like, in caps, "Yay, congratulations!" Like, all the emojis, because it's like, man, and when I'm in a different space, there's a sticker behind me that, it's a quote, "Don't get so busy, something, something, you don't make a life for yourself." Like, we're not supposed to just grind, 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 right? And then we
right.
die.
I,
Like,
w-
Yeah.
I was
you
wondering,
know?
I have
Yeah,
a
so I
friend
have seen that.
also that is, I
Yeah.
can see the burnout where
Mhm.
some of the things we talked about, whether it's the irritability for
Mhm.
something else, but also just being tired, not eating healthy,
Mhm.
um, the weight gain and the emotion,
Mhm.
like all of that. And you see it and you was like, why don't you take some time for yourself? Or,
Mhm.
oh no, I gotta do this because the kids, I gotta do this
Mhm.
for the kids and stuff.
I've talked about
And
that, yeah.
and you gotta work. And you're
Right.
like, you do realize that
Right.
the kids have another parent, right? Or you
Yes.
do realize that
Right.
they're in the ninth and 10th grade. You
Yeah, they're
do
not babies.
realize that
Yeah.
you being there to protect everyone and everything, you won't be, even if you're at home or even if you're at
Mhm.
your best, you can't protect somebody from everything. So, who is there to protect you? Or who is there for you if something was to happen to you from this burnout,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
and I see it in people all the time with work, work,
Mhm.
work, retire, move in, retire, then move into another job. And, because it's the love for money or they need to take care of people.
Yeah,
And,
many reasons.
there's so many
Right.
reasons. Um, but there's no time or space where they have to themselves.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I was wondering.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Focus is off or, like, they hard to be in the moment, right? Because 'Cause they're checking their
Not
phone
being
or they're
present.
this and that, yeah, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
I had to
That's my
learn
problem.
and I mean, I even and it's funny because it's like, "Okay, how are you" I mean, at the time, I was in corporate when this happened, but, like, you're coaching leaders on how not to do this, and you're over here
Mhm.
doing
And you ain't
it,
taking your
right?
own
On
advice.
advice. Yep.
Right. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Um, but for so many reasons, and I think the biggest I won't even say the biggest, but a big reason I was doing that is just the between hyper independence and then hyper like achiever, you
Mhm.
know? Like that identity is like it was second nature to me. So I was telling myself, I got this, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, I'm over here, but and it unfortunately is that situation where now there's a team of people doing what I did alone,
Mm.
for 4 years essentially, right? And it does like piss you off a little bit, like, I told you I needed help, you know what I mean? Now it's a whole team, but yeah, so seeing it in ourselves, I feel like is the hardest. And it goes back to self awareness, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes we just can't see it because we're head down, grinding it out, just getting it done.
Mhm.
But now I'm absolutely more focused on if I see it in somebody, I do say something like,
Mhm.
hey, and sometimes it's a matter of, let's go to lunch, right? Or let's go have coffee. Cause even that 1 hour, right, gives them a brain break,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? And most times that does help with some people that I start to see that in. Not all the time, but sometimes you have to be more active instead of being like, you should do this or have you considered that? It's like, look, Imma hold your hand when when I say this or when we do this, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people just need that nudge.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
I wish somebody would take my hand and nudge
I
me,
Right?
but
know, right? That part.
but here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Alright.
Well, look, now we have a
Okay,
story to share with people.
I
that part.
know.
Okay, switching gears.
Yeah.
Sometimes strength becomes a role we're afraid of to stop playing. People often
Mhm.
celebrate your resilience without realizing what it's costing you, which is what we was just talking about, right? Being capable and being okay are not the same thing. That part.
Mhm.
And you already
Yeah, I
talked a
know.
little bit about, the perfectionism, right? And the
Sure.
control, right?
Mhm.
Or fear of burdening others, um, or feeling responsible for everyone. And we kind of touched on it a little bit, but what lies do people tell themselves when they're overwhelmed? Or what lies did you tell yourself when you were overwhelmed?
I'm good. I'm good
Okay.
or okay, after this. Okay, after this project. After this, I'm gonna
Sit
do
down.
X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom used to tell us to CC law. That meant sit down. Where she got that from, I don't know. But it's kind of like, okay, after this, all right, I'm a CC law somewhere. You know what I mean? Never.
I've never heard
It's
of
a
that.
lie. Nobody
Never heard of
has.
that.
Me and my brother still be like, "What does that even mean?" We knew it meant sit down. It was sit you down somewhere. But she would say "Cece la." I don't know if anybody
Mm.
listening has ever heard that. I think
Yeah,
she
I
totally
know
made
I've
it
never
up,
heard of
but
that.
we knew what it meant. And so when she said it, we did it. But anyway, I would CC la. That's what I would tell myself. After this, I'm gonna sit down somewhere. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna take the break. And which is why now everyone's like, you always going somewhere. Because you know how many years went by where I didn't
You
because I was
didn't,
focused
yeah.
on everybody else,
Mhm.
the job, the kids, the partner, you know what I mean? The husband. And so yeah, I tell people all the time, now I'm dangerous and I'm gonna ride life until the wheels fall off. So, but yeah, telling myself that next time or after this, I'm
Mhm.
going to.
Mhm.
Well,
Was that the same for
What?
you, Shauna?
mm, yeah, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
I'm
Well, what were you afraid, would happen if you admitted that you struggled? Like, I know we said that, some of us thought felt like we
Mm.
were failing, some of us
Mhm.
felt like, you know, it was a sign of weakness, all of these things like we can, like you said, I got this. I can keep doing this and operating at this level until your
Mhm.
body tells you otherwise, right?
Right.
Well,
Right.
for me, um, afraid of not being seen as a good mother
Mm,
Yeah, I was go ahead.
because
Mhm.
in the
Mhm.
military, you're TDY. In my case, I was TDY a lot, deployed. I going to school to get my degrees. There was something in work. Um, so when I'm not TDY or deployed, I got this, right? I'm trying to take whatever I can off the
Mhm.
plate because he's a maintainer. So it was easier for me to take the kids to appointments and all of this
Mm.
other kind of stuff. Um, my schedule was more flexible. Um, and I don't want to how can I ask for help when he's working outside in Okinawa or at Luke and it's 100 degrees outside and
Right.
he's doing the physical labor. Really? I need help taking the kids to a doctor's appointment? Like I just
Mhm.
looked at it as he's doing hard labor. I'm sitting in the office in air conditioning, right? Like
Mm.
I know it's different, but still,
Right.
mhm,
so you home and you can't take care of your kids? Do
Right.
a simple appointment, you can't cook dinner, you can't, but it was so it's not just the taking care of the kids, right? Running them to the
Mhm.
appointments. And it's
Mhm.
not just work. It's not just going to the gym for PT because you got your PT test, right? It's
Mhm.
not just the extracurriculars, your volunteer work and stuff. It is
Right.
in a 24-hour day, you have to sleep.
Mhm. Mhm.
And how do you prioritize all of those things to not drop the ball, right?
Right.
And to be good at it and to do it without complaining because, like my kids don't have a problem telling me back in the day, we didn't ask, we didn't ask to be born.
Right.
what?
We didn't ask to
That's
be born.
funny.
That's your responsibility. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
Yeah.
my.
Yeah. No, they didn't say it
That's
like
funny.
with attitude or whatever,
Right, right, right,
but
right.
and
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? You're right. You didn't ask
Touche.
to be born. But if you go down the spiritual role,
Mhm.
your soul chose your parents. You chose
Mhm.
this life. So
Mhm.
while you and your physical didn't choose to be born, your soul chose the avatar and your parents. So I ain't go there with
You
her. I ain't but
you're like, "So CC La." No, I'm just
yep.
kidding.
That part, that part.
Yeah, but yeah, that's afraid of just not being a good
Yeah.
mother because I didn't grow up well, up until I was 15.
Right.
My mother wasn't
Right.
there, right? So I looked at her being a single mom, and if she could take us to all these places and stuff, um,
Right.
then I could do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
I as soon as you said that, I was like, "Yep, that's me." Because for me, when I reflected on that, I was like, not being the hero to my kids, right? Is for me is what I was afraid would happen. Like my kids would not see me as like their idol or whatever. Cause I've talked before about how I never wanted my kids to look up to celebrities and
Yeah.
things like that because I felt it was unrealistic. And I worked so hard trying to change cycles, things like that, that I was afraid that they wouldn't see me how I wanted them to see me, which is not to be something unrealistic, but I didn't want them to doubt my love for them. I didn't
Right.
want them to doubt anything, about me and my relationship, love and support, for them.
Mm,
So that's what I was most afraid of.
mm.
So,
That's good.
yeah.
That's real good, girl. Okay.
That's my life.
Okay.
Did you
Shifting.
answer?
I don't think I did, but y'all answered enough for the
Oh,
both of
okay.
me. Let's see. The strongest people are often the least likely to ask for support.
Mhm.
Many women don't break down because they're weak. They break down because they've been carrying too much for too long. Burnout often starts with good intentions.
Mm,
And
That's
then when we
true.
talked about what burnout actually looks like, I kind of touched on a little bit of it, irritability,
Mm.
exhaustion, numbness,
Mhm.
cynicism, brain
Mhm.
fog, loss of joy, difficulty resting. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people with that difficulty are resting,
Yes.
and physical symptoms. And you already spoke about, some of the stuff that you dealt with your heart
Mhm.
condition.
Mhm.
What did burnout well, you already talked about what burnout looked like personally and, kinda what the warning signs, but, how would you say burnout impact your relationships?
I'll say it didn't, and that's probably part of the problem. Like, it didn't. It was a self thing, right? It was all for me, it was all being stored with me. And I don't feel it impacted, unless it did and I'm not aware because someone didn't share, but I don't feel it impacted any relationships, for me at all. Like, because, I beat myself up with that one.
Mm,
And
mm,
I've taken it all, um, for myself. So it affected my relationship with me.
mm,
mm,
that's good.
Mhm.
I'll say for me, it was, not saying no
mm,
Mm. Mhm.
because I felt like if somebody asked me to go do something, I felt like I had to say yes in a
mm,
sense instead of being like, "No." And I'm still learning
That's my daughter.
to
Mm.
navigate that area of it
Mm.
because,
Mhm.
I wanna be there for people as well.
Right.
So if, like, somebody's having a party or a baby shower or something, and then, even if I was dog tired,
And you still be
with
like,
work and
"Okay,
everything
I'll
else,
be there."
I'd still go. You know what I mean? And I think
Right.
that I don't know, somebody might need to hear that, like, it's okay to say no.
mm,
Mhm.
mm,
And I think
Yes.
now
Yeah,
I'm
I agree.
becoming better with that to be like, not that I don't want
Call
to,
me if you're struggling. I
but
got you because 'cause I'm a whole
I
different
just
person
don't
these days.
I just don't want to,
Mhm.
mm,
or I think some parts of it
Yeah.
is like, overextending yourself, and I've done
Yes.
that
That's real.
flawlessly for many years, and I need to not do that. Like, I would
Right.
double, triple book, and I just be like, one from one thing to next, and I'm like, I can't do that
Yep.
anymore. And I think in doing that as well, you're not fully present as well
mhm,
because
Nope.
you're
Nope.
like all over the place. And
mm,
it's like, okay,
Mhm.
you gotta learn to be like, learn what you really want to do
Mhm.
and participate in and what not to participate in and
Right.
what not to um be like, no, I need a rest. You know what I mean? I've been
Mhm.
on the go.
Mhm.
Like you were saying before, I only do two things a day or
2
three
things a
things a
day.
day.
Y'all,
That's it.
today I
You
had
know what I
3
mean?
things in person, but one of them ended up being canceled because one of them I wasn't making it to, but now I can make both that are left because I was like, "Ooh, that's 3 things. Somebody's not getting me to do." But one of them got canceled, so I was
So
like,
you're like,
"All
yay!
right."
you didn't even have to decide. You didn't.
So
My
but it
therapist told me that today.
yeah.
He said,
Mhm.
"This week, I want you to try to say no to something."
Yeah,
Yes.
I said,
I
"Oh,
told y'all, call me, I
it's
got you.
hard. I
oh,
mean, it's not hard. It is, but
I've
it isn't.
worked. No, it is hard if you're not used to doing that. It is hard. I've just done a lot of work and I've come a long way, so that's why it's easier for me now. But, one of my daughters is like that. I'm like, it's okay to just tell them like, "You can't
Just say
make it."
no, yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Mm.
It's
It
fine.
is. It's
You
okay.
have to become it also felt selfish when I first started doing it, so
Mhm.
you have to be okay with putting your needs first. You have to be okay with, um you just have to be okay with saying no.
And you
Yeah.
know
You have
what?
to
And
be
That's
even
okay
hurting
with
and
being
even hurting other people's
selfish.
feelings too.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
they'll be like, "Oh, what do you mean you're not gonna come?" "Oh, I'm not coming."
you know what helped me? Gas prices. Um,
OMG.
I live
You know
38
what?
minutes. I live
That's
30
fair.
I live 38 minutes from the cigar lounge. And they'd be like, "Oh, first lady," because that's my cigar name. They was like, "First lady, you coming?" Mm, no.
No,
I've gotten
gas is
good at
high.
saying no to that because I went to get the gas
Right.
station today after therapy under $4 because my car takes premium. It's finally under
Same.
$4.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, it doesn't
Now you
feel
can go
as
to Cigar
bad."
Bar.
So
Yeah.
so instead of taking my next meeting virtual, I'm gonna go in person today.
Right.
Oh.
Hey, look
Yay,
at
'cause I got
there.
gas.
Yes, and
No,
you know
good
what?
yeah.
To take it a step further, and this is again, um with one of our daughters, I tell her, I was like, not only, can you work towards saying no or not right now, no thank you, is to do it without alibying yourself.
That's so hard.
So
Over-explain it.
that is
Breathe.
very hard. It is very hard, but if you really want to push yourself, get to a point to where you can say no, no
Mm,
thank you, or not right now without giving a backstory. Because now if you want to, cool, but like you don't owe anybody.
right.
If you just don't want to, I'm not gonna be able to make it. Maybe next time. Or thanks for the invite anyway. I'm not gonna be able to make it. And let that be it. That is hard, but it's doable.
Mhm.
That's
So
what
I
I
was like,
know.
because we like to say because or whatever, and we're stressing ourselves out with
Yep.
the alibi of why or
Don't.
yeah, don't.
'Cause once you say no anyway, they probably stop listening.
Probably.
I know I would. Oh, okay, girl. All right.
Next time, okay.
All right.
On to
Okay.
the next.
Be safe. Enjoy, or let me
Right.
know if I can support you.
Mhm. Y'all are
Anyway.
funny. Okay, switching gears. Burnout doesn't always look like falling apart. Sometimes burnout looks like functioning with no joy.
Mm,
Mhm.
Just because you're still producing doesn't mean you're healthy. So, what actually helps, ladies? We talked about
I'll tell
therapy.
you.
We talked about asking for help, even though it's hard.
Boundaries,
Yes,
boundaries,
right.
boundaries, boundaries.
letting go of perfectionism
Ugh.
Mm.
Yeah. Mhm.
and receiving support, right? I think,
Yes.
yeah, right.
Yes.
And that is
Yes.
foreign, right? For
Mhm.
some
Mhm.
people and to include myself. So when you get the support or someone offers you the support, you don't know how to receive it,
Mhm.
right? And it's
Mhm.
like, it's foreign.
Mhm.
So you either downplay it or you still they're there to support, but you still
You're
trying to do it because you
questioning.
can't let it go. And then you're
Yeah.
questioning their motive. And it's like, are you trying to see me at my weakest? Or, it's like
Right.
sometimes we overthink the support, like being in
Mhm.
community, people lending that hand. It's
Mhm.
so foreign that yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. 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 I've found that I mean, every situation is different, but literally saying like I just want to support you. With some people, I just do things and don't tell them until it's happening because I know if I mention it, they're going to be like, no, 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 no,
Mm,
don't do that. Don't do that. So I'll just do it and just be like, "Hey, you're gonna get a package tomorrow," or
Yep.
something that would help their life. I've purchased stuff for our adult kids before and didn't tell them except for, "Hey, you have a package coming," or they get it and they already know it's me and they send me a picture like, did you
Did you order
you
from
didn't
the
have to
Amazon
do
cart?
that,
Yeah.
you didn't have to do that. I'm like, "I know," or transfer them money. Like, I
Mhm.
know you didn't ask because I know you're not going to. So I just want to support you because I used to say, just let me be a mom. And then I'm like, well, especially
Adult.
the
Adult
men, yeah, I'm
kids.
like, that could be kind of like,
Mm.
like, all right, I don't need my mom's help. So I say, hey, I just wanted to support you. Right.
Mhm.
And as far as receiving, I found the phrase, I received that
Mm.
is enough. And one of our sons, we work on that because the other day I gave him a compliment and he
Aw.
was like, I received that. And I was so
Aw.
proud. He was like, I
Aw.
know, I did it. I said it, But
Compliments are
I
so
was
Aw.
so
important.
excited because you give him a compliment and it's always like, no, or I could have been, or, he
Yeah.
shrinks himself. And I'm like, no, you will say, I received that. And he did it,
Aw.
y'all. So it works. Okay, I'm a hush now.
Aw.
But that's a tidbit. Just
Yay.
like, I
I
received that.
received that.
I received that. And leave it. I received that.
I love that. I love that. And you already talked about why support felt uncomfortable, um, and what recovery looks like.
Oh,
Um, Lessons learned after burnout, which is where we're saying,
don't
like
do
you
it
said, the
again.
boundaries,
Yes.
asking for help. It's not weakness.
Right.
um, Healing begins
Communication.
when you stop proving you can carry everything. That's when healing
Mhm.
starts, right? Support isn't weakness, it's sustainability. Sometimes strength looks like letting someone help.
Mm.
That part, right?
Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, let's see.
We're stronger
So
together.
we're to the listener's reflection. And here's the question. Ask yourself, what are you carrying right now that was never meant to be carried alone? And
Mm.
what would happen if you stopped pretending you were okay?
Mm.
Mm-mm-mm. What's the worst that could happen?
That part.
All
Mm.
right.
Man,
That was good.
man. All
So
right.
now
Well,
we're
let's
at
move
challenge
to
segment. So it's for you, Shauna.
these mental challenges. So the first is a burden inventory. Write down what I am carrying, what belongs to me, and what doesn't. Ooh.
Mm.
So with that one, after you've written it down, I just want, if you have the time and the capacity, to just place your hand over your heart and the other right over your navel. Close your eyes. Just take some deep breaths and just ask that your higher being release what you're carrying that is not yours or what no longer serves you. Um, you've been self aware, you've acknowledged it, you've recognized it. Now release it. It's not yours. So sorry, that was not planned, but
No, I love it.
no reason to recognize it and continue to carry it. So take it one step further and release
Can I
it.
add something to that too?
Yeah.
Like releasing it, it may be something you might have to do more than once.
Mm,
Mhm.
So like that's going to be a process because it might keep showing up of something that you
Mhm.
just got to keep releasing it um
Right.
until it's no longer being brought up or shown or in you, right?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people just say, "Oh, release it." And people are like, "Okay, I thought I released it, but why is it showing back up
Mhm.
again?" And it's like, "Oh no, it
It's
could show
back.
back up again." So
yeah.
it's going to have to
Yeah.
be like you're saying, a
It's work.
self-awareness, conscious thing to be
Yeah.
like, That's not me. That's not for me. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
carry that. It's not serving me. Let me release that.
And you
And I'm
have
gonna have
Mhm.
to
to
keep
feel it.
doing it when it
'Cause
comes up.
right, because you have to feel it, right? So if you're
Right.
holding on something for one of your kids and you said, "That is not mine, I want to release it." But deep down, that's your baby girl
Mhm. Right.
and you protecting her, so you got it.
Mhm.
So when you ask to release, it knows your subconscious also, and it knows what
Yes.
you're feeling, you're thinking.
So you
So
have
you're
to believe
sending
it.
mixed signals. So it will,
Mhm.
like Angela said, it will come up again. It could
Yeah.
come up, not
Right.
definitely. It could come up again. Okay, moving to the next mental challenge, honest reflection. Complete this. The thing I need help with the most right now is, ooh, no
Mm.
answer that, no filtering, no minimizing, just honesty. And usually the first thing
Yeah.
that comes to your mind is, that unfiltered, um,
Right.
thought. But that is what we have for the mental challenges.
Nice, nice, nice. All right. Physical challenges for this episode. The first one is ask for help. Okay. So this week, ask for help with one thing, just one thing.
Mhm.
And again, we would love to hear. Like, I always want to know, like, what are they going to choose? But ask for help with one thing this week. The second is remove one obligation. So identify, is it one meeting, one commitment, one responsibility, one expectation, one of something? Just remove that obligation this week, especially that meeting that you know can be an email. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, and especially if it's something that can be postponed or delegated or even eliminated, right? If we have things, tasks or something on our calendar that it you mean well and you really hoped you would get to that, but even just seeing that thing on your calendar that you know you never get to is it's busying your eyes, your calendar, your schedule, right? So just look at removing an obligation.
I am removing my cigar meeting on Thursday to go to the drum circle.
Look at there.
Because I made a
Right.
new shamanic drum out of elk when I was
Okay.
on my retreat, and I have not
Okay.
used it. And cigar meetings are every Thursday, and I am choosing this Thursday to honor myself
Look at
and
there.
to go listen to some music and the vibrations and put my feet in the
See?
grass. So, listeners,
Hey,
that
touching
is
grass.
yes, that is
Y'all know I love touching
physical.
some grass. Ground.
Yes.
Grounding. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right.
So, if this conversation felt personal, you're probably not alone. The truth is, you were never meant to carry everything by yourself. Join us in the Grow Wiser Love Louder Facebook group. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
On
And
On YouTube.
our next
Yep.
episode is our season one finale. And we're
Yay.
talking about being soft without becoming small. How to remain
Oh,
kind, compassionate, and open hearted without losing your voice, your boundaries, or yourself. I'm sorry, y'all. My dog is just, I don't know what he's doing right now.
he sound like he's having a good time over
He's over here
there.
jumping. I'm like, sir, let me finish this, please. We're at the end. Like, then you could just be as loud as you want.
He did so good.
He did for the most part. Now he's just like, yeah, I'm over it. Like you're taking too long. What is okay. We're also reflecting on everything we've learned throughout season one. And we'd love to
Yes.
hear from you. So, what topics would you like us to explore in season two? Let us know in the comments or inside our Facebook community.
Yay.
And that's it, ladies. So, I
All
enjoyed our
right.
conversation. This was so good. I feel like we're going to
Yes,
help a
Yes.
yes,
lot of people
yes.
with this one.
Absolutely.
I hope it
All right.
resonates with some.
Yeah. Till next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.